right before we started 8 West last year, we had the chance to take a marvelous trip.
We did. We flew to New York City for a fashion show during Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. Local designer Pamela DeVos invited us backstage as she introduced her 2010 spring line.
Now, of course, you may have heard of Pam. She's married to Dan DeVos, one of the heirs of Amway. 7 years ago, Pam took her love of fashion to the next level and started Pamela Rowland Designs.
Well, we landed here safely in New York City.
Made it through Lincoln Tunnel, and here we are now excitedly outside the tents at Fashion Week. We're about ready to go in, but you can see here it's quite an elaborate setup. These tents are specially constructed here so that all of the backstage activity can go on, and it's a pretty protected venue here.
Yeah, this is Bryant Park. Many people may be familiar with this. The Bryant Park Hotel is right here across the street. Lots of cars traveling through here, lots of stars going through these doors right here. And we're going to go in just a second and check it out.
That's right. We'll be backstage with the Pamela Rowland Show, showing you the Spring 2010 collection, which is on display this week at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week right here in New York.
Here we go, heading toward the special backstage entrance and into the world of all things fashion at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. At the door, we picked up our media credentials for the Pamela Rowland Show, and voila, we're in.
Heading inside.
But first things first, the celebs and models had yet to arrive, so we got ourselves ready for action.
Spray, do you need any hairspray or anything? Or are you pretty good?
I'd like to. This is a dream, actually. Like, look at all this.
Here's the hard thing. We're trying to look the part here to fit in with all these fashionistas.
All these glamorous people.
Those of us here from West Michigan, but it's our 8 West attempt to take you behind the scenes here and let you know how we're trying to fit in, and that way you'll never be out of step when it comes to fashion.
It's part of the fashion show you never see. Makeup artists primping the models, hair set in curlers, bodies everywhere, creating a special look. It's all the vision of Ada resident Pamela DeVos, the creative force behind Pamela Rowland.
What are your thoughts right now? I mean, we are minutes away from the show starting. How do you feel right now?
You feel just about everything, you know, anticipation, little nerves, excitement, you know, and you just want everything to go well, but I'm pretty confident everything's together.
Yes.
And, you know, we had our last piece finished last night at midnight, so it's a very tiring week, but it's very exciting, so you kind of live in adrenaline.
How do you describe the clothes that will be seen in this collection here?
This collection is my spring collection for 2010. It's very bright. As you see the images up here, my inspiration was George O'Keeffe, probably the most famous modern art, women artist in the world, for sure in the United States. So I kind of got my inspiration from her. In fact, she used lots of color, very sensual flowers, as you see when you sit there. So sexy, feminine, but yet, you know, much of our collection is very colorful, but I always remember to put a little bit of like masculinity into it also. You'll see menswear. Kind of Pamela Rowland's signature line is menswear also. So you see everything, I think.
With moments to go, the celebs enter backstage. There's pictures, interviews, and it's showtime. What's really cool is that much like her personal life, Pamela's family is front and center at her shows. Her 2 daughters, her mom, her son, and her husband. And at the end of the show, the kids even walk the catwalk with their mom. Pretty impressive international fashion designer, businesswoman, and mom.
I have to ask you, as a mom, how do you balance it all? It's difficult for a woman. How do you balance it?
That is probably the most difficult, but I think people will say, how do you keep it all together and calm? Because a lot of people, fashion designers, are screaming in the background. You know, I think once you have teenagers, I have raised 2 teenagers, not quite raised, but I mean, I have 2 teenage daughters, that can really stress you out more than anything. So this really, after that, is quite easy. But that is the hardest thing. I have a lot of support. You know, Dan's very supportive of me, thank goodness. And After we really got into a routine with me being gone, they did a much better job of working with their dad.
And this, another successful spring collection in the books.
That was so much fun.
It was wonderful,
Terry.
and Pam and Dan, the family, so gracious to allow us to come along on that trip. And, it's been wonderful to see Pam's career continue to grow. So many women wearing her styles at the Emmy Awards, the Academy Awards, at all of the major events in Hollywood.
Well, whenever there is an award show, we just kind of zero in on that, because being able to go through that experience and be able to bring it to you, it's been really cool, and to be able to hope and, cheer on her success and have someone that is from West Michigan and that has done so much, invested in our community, to go in on an international level and be such a contributor to the fashion world, and to be a role model in the way that she's doing it too, as you can see, because she's maintained that position as being a mom and being a community leader too.
And that's an important
Very
thing
admirable.
too, because we're both working moms, and I just really respect and admire the job that she and Dan have done with their kids and keeping their families so close and so committed. So it's one of those wonderful stories we've been able to tell along the way on 8 West. Well, New York, about as far east as 8 West has been, but we hit the other coast of the United States this year too.
Yeah, and we made a stop in between in Sin City itself, Las Vegas. 8 West photojournalist Amanda Harper and I had the chance to take 8 West to the Strip, where we saw ventriloquist Terry Fader perform. And here we are having dinner at the Mirage on the way to the show, which was an amazing experience. And we got to share Terry Fader tickets with our 8 West friends when he recently performed at the Allegan County Fair.
Yeah, and everybody loved him. What a talented guy. Now, here's a picture that's really West. The Hollywood sign behind Rachel, our executive producer Christine, and reporter Joy Walzak. As you can see, I didn't get to go along on this one because, remember, my daughter was graduating from high school the same week. My co-workers, though, decided to bring me along. Well,
you love
sort
that,
of.
didn't you? We
I
brought
do.
Terry's picture so we could take a photo there. And you were definitely in our hearts, Terry, and so were all of you, our 8 West extended family, because we were in California for a very special honor, 8 West's first national recognition, the Gracie Allen Award from the Alliance for Women in Media. It was a huge, huge honor.
It is an amazing honor. We're so grateful for such an incredible first year. It's almost hard to even imagine where year 2 is going to take us, but we're kicking it off, and I'm excited. I'm re-energized, and I'm ready.
And now we're just springboarding, because we have the foundation set.
Yeah.
And we can do anything from there.
That's right, anything.
Very, very exciting. Don't go anywhere. A lot more reminiscing, a lot more 8 West when we come back.
Are you West?